Hello there, boaters. Lenny Rudo here for Boat US Magazine, and today we're going to talk about all different kinds of modern planing powerboat hulls. Now, truthfully, there are many different kinds of hulls out there, and we're barely going to scratch the surface, but hopefully learning about the major different varieties of hulls will help you pick the best one for you and your family. One of the most common terms you'll hear is about deep V powerboats. Many people think it's a big V at the bow of the boat. In truth, it's not the V at the bow that counts, it's the V measured at the transom of the boat. It's really easy to put a nice sharp bow on a boat, and that cuts through the waves. Well, great. But when a boat runs, of course, the waves may be impacting anywhere along here, and it's hard to design a boat with lots of V in the back so it can still cut waves, but retain stability. Boats with 20 or 21 to 24 or 25 degrees of V in the transom are generally considered deep V. The biggest advantage of a deep V boat with a really sharp transom dead rise is that it can chop through the waves and really reduce the impacts, but that doesn't come cost-free. Boats with deep Vs tend to be less stable than boats with flatter bottoms. They tend to draw more water and they have a deeper draft, and on top of that, they're also not commonly the most efficient running hulls in the world. Boats with slightly less V in the transom, generally from 20 degrees of dead rise down, are commonly called semi-Vs. Now, semi-Vs have some of the advantages of deep V boats and some of the advantages of flat bottom boats. Speaking of flat bottom boats, a boat with no transom dead rise at all, it's just flat, or maybe with just a couple degrees of transom dead rise, is generally considered a flat bottom boat. Now, flat bottom boats have magnificent weight bearing abilities. I mean, think about a barge. What is it? It's basically a flat bottom boat. They can hold a ton. They also have a very, very shallow draft. But on the flip side of the coin, remember there's always a downside, folks, and in the case of a flat bottom boat, it's that it can really create a very bumpy, wet ride. Power catamarans are another type of boat you may encounter out there on the water. Now, these have two hulls instead of one, and can be very different from one power cat to the next, with their own sets of unique advantages and disadvantages. That said, the biggest advantage a power cat can offer is generally going to be a smooth ride. They also carry their beam very far forward, all the way to the very front of the boat, so you tend to end up with a wider boat with more overall space. Now, some power cats do have some unusual quirks. They may create what's called a sneeze, where they send a puff of water out the front of the tunnel as the boat runs, and that can get everybody on board a little damp. Some others rock and roll quite quickly. They call it a snap roll, and some lean outwards when they turn instead of banking inwards. There are other hull types out there like tri-hulls or rounded bilge boats with keels. There are also certain manufacturers that have their own particular trademarked hulls. But when all is said and done, when you get right down to the bottom line, there are pluses and minuses to each and every different hull design. All have their own strengths and their own weaknesses. Hopefully, after understanding these basic hull types, you'll have a better idea of which hull design will be perfect for you and your family. Well, folks, we hope you've enjoyed this video, and we hope you'll click below and subscribe and check out the future Boat US Magazine videos coming down the pike.